Imagine your answer sounds perfect in your head, but when you finish, you realize it's just general. If you want to sound precise and businesslike in BEC Speaking, we've got a practical technique to share today.
That sounds useful because I often know what I want to say, but my answers still sound a little general.
Welcome to BEC Exam Skills Clinic. Today's episode is called Stop Sounding Vague, the specificity ladder for stronger BEC answers. We're focusing on one key skill that can quickly make your speaking clearer, more professional, and more convincing. Replacing vague business language with specific practical detail.
So the examiner wants more detail, or is it about giving longer answers?
It's about relevant business detail, not just longer answers. By the end, you'll know how to upgrade your responses on the spot. We'll break down the specificity ladder, try live examples, review powerful phrases, and finish with a practical checklist you can use in your next BEC practice session. Let's start with some warm-up questions. Emma, in your opinion, what makes a business meeting effective?
I'd say an effective business meeting is well structured and has a clear agenda. People know what is expected of them, decisions get made, and everyone leaves with concrete action points.
How do you usually prepare for a presentation at work?
Before giving a presentation, I always research my topic and try to understand my audience's needs. Then, I make slides with only key points and practice explaining them clearly. This helps me feel confident and keeps the presentation focused.
Can you give an example of a time you solved a problem at work?
Once, our team faced a delay with a client project because of a missing document. I contacted the client directly, clarified what we needed, and followed up regularly. As a result, we received the information quickly and met our deadline.
Now let's move to today's main focus, making your answers more specific. Imagine you're asked, what are the advantages of introducing flexible working hours?
So, I need to explain or recommend what the main benefit could be, not just say, it's a good idea.
Exactly. Pause and respond now. A strong answer could be, flexible working hours could improve staff retention because employees would find it easier to manage personal responsibilities. As a result, the company might reduce recruitment and training costs.
That answer works because it explains exactly who benefits, why it's important, and what it means for the business. It's much clearer than just saying, it helps employees.
Now, can you try a shorter version of that answer?
Flexible working hours would help employees balance their work and personal life, which could improve staff retention.
Good, but next time, try to add a final business consequence, for example, how that could reduce costs or improve recruitment. Let's break down the specificity ladder using another scenario. A company is thinking of replacing face-to-face training with online training. At the first level, you might say, online training would be better.
That's pretty vague. You'd want to say what's better about it.
Right? At level 2, online training would reduce costs. Level 3, online training would reduce costs because the company wouldn't need to pay for travel, accommodation, or external training rooms. Level 4. This could allow the business to train more employees within the same budget and introduce new procedures more quickly across different offices.
So just taking your original idea and making it develop step by step makes the answer stronger.
One typical error is adding words without adding meaning. For example, I think this would be a very good and really useful solution for the company in many different ways.
That answer is longer, but it's still vague. It doesn't actually say what would change or improve.
Exactly. A useful check is to ask yourself, have I explained what will actually change? Let's try an example. Suppose I ask, why might a company invest in customer service training?
My basic answer might be, it could improve customer service.
That repeats the question. Try to name a visible result.
It could help employees deal with complaints more professionally.
Better. Now, what about the business impact?
This could increase customer satisfaction and protect the company's reputation.
Great. Now, connect it all together in a natural answer.
The company should invest in customer service training because it would help employees deal with complaints more professionally. This could increase customer satisfaction and protect the company's reputation.
That's clear, relevant, and business focused. You could make it even stronger. In the long term, this may also encourage repeat business.
I can see that every sentence in the answer has a real purpose.
Exactly. Now, let's look at some useful language to help you sound more specific. The first phrase is more specifically. Repeat it, more specifically.
More specifically,
Use this to clarify a general point. For example, the new system could improve efficiency. More specifically, it would reduce the time employees spend entering customer data manually. The second phrase is, this would enable the company to repeat it. This would enable the company to.
this would enable the company to.
Use this to explain what a decision makes possible. For example, automating routine reports would save several hours each week. This would enable the company to focus more resources on client support. The third phrase is, the main practical benefit would be. Repeat it. The main practical benefit would be.
The main practical benefit would be.
You can use this to highlight the most important real-world advantage. For example, the main practical benefit would be faster communication between the sales and logistics teams. Next, this could lead to. Repeat it. This could lead to.
This could lead to.
Use this to introduce a likely result. For example, employees would receive clearer performance targets. This could lead to higher productivity and fewer misunderstandings. Another useful one, for example, the company could. Repeat. For example, the company could.
For example, the company could.
This is great for giving a practical example. For instance, the business should communicate the change carefully. For example, the company could organize short team briefings before the new policy is introduced. From a business point of view. Repeat. From a business point of view.
From a business point of view,
Use this to connect the issue to the company's bigger goals. For example, from a business point of view, reducing staff turnover would lower recruitment costs and protect team productivity. For discussing disadvantages, the risk is not simply that, it is that. Repeat it. The risk is not simply that, it is that.
the risk is not simply that, it is that.
This helps you move from a general problem to a more serious consequence. For example, the risk is not simply that the launch will be delayed, it is that key customers may lose confidence in the company.
That phrase sounds quite advanced, but I see how it's practical if the logic is clear.
Absolutely. Don't use advanced phrases just to sound impressive. Make sure the connection is logical. Let's do a short practice. A medium-sized company wants to improve communication between departments. It's considering an internal messaging platform or weekly cross-department meetings. Which would be more effective and why?
I think the messaging platform would be better because communication would be easier. It would help everyone and save time.
Your recommendation is clear, but better, easier, and help everyone are vague. What type of communication would improve?
Employees could share updates more quickly.
Which employees and what kind of updates?
Sales staff could share customer requests with the operations team immediately.
Excellent. Why does that matter?
It could reduce delays and prevent mistakes.
Can you give a practical example?
For example, if a customer changes the delivery address, the sales team could inform the warehouse immediately.
Now, give your full answer using the specificity ladder. Recommendation, specific result, explanation, and business impact.
I think the internal messaging platform would be more effective. More specifically, it would allow departments to share urgent updates immediately instead of waiting for a weekly meeting. For example, sales staff could quickly inform the operations team about changes to an order or delivery address. This could reduce delays, prevent avoidable mistakes, and improve the customer experience.
Strong answer. It sounds natural and business focused. Could you add a disadvantage for a balanced view?
However, the company would need to set clear communication rules, as employees could otherwise receive too many unnecessary messages.
Excellent. Notice your answer is strong because of its precision, not because of complicated vocabulary.
That's encouraging, because candidates sometimes think they need very sophisticated words to get a good result.
Professional communication isn't about making a simple idea sound complicated. It's about making an important idea easy to understand.
What if I can't think of exact figures or real company examples in the exam?
You don't need to invent statistics. Use realistic hypothetical examples with phrases like, for example, the company could, or this might be useful when show practical thinking, not specialist knowledge. Let's discuss, do you think it's more important for companies to focus on staff retention or attracting new talent?
That depends on the company's situation. On the one hand, retaining staff means saving on recruitment costs and keeping valuable experience in-house. On the other hand, new talent brings fresh ideas and skills. However, if a business is losing experienced employees, that can cause major disruption and affect morale. So I'd prioritize retention in most cases.
Good comparison. Now a C1 style question. How can companies balance the need for rapid innovation with the risks of making mistakes in new projects?
In my opinion, the most effective approach is to introduce a pilot phase for new projects. This would enable the company to test ideas on a small scale, gather feedback, and limit risk before a full launch. The main practical benefit would be reducing uncertainty and learning from early errors without damaging the company's reputation.
That's more developed and businesslike. Time pressure question. In 10 seconds, name 2 ways technology can improve internal communication.
Instant messaging platforms can speed up decision-making, and project management tools can help teams track progress in real time. Let's review 2 useful phrases. First, more specifically, it helps you clarify a general point. Example, the software can improve efficiency. More specifically, it will reduce the time needed to process each order. Repeat, more specifically.
More specifically. That's a great phrase. The second one, this would enable the company to use it to show what becomes possible. For example, remote working would save office costs. This would enable the company to invest more in marketing. Repeat, this would enable the company to
This would enable the company to...
Let's wrap up. 3 key takeaways. First, avoid empty words. Always explain what will actually change. Second, use the specificity ladder to add detail step by step. Third, support your points with practical examples, not just theory.
And for your next practice, take 5 vague statements and upgrade each one using the specificity ladder. Add a specific result, explanation, and business consequence.
Exactly. Clear, specific detail makes your recommendations more convincing and your answers more professional. Thanks for joining us on BEC Exam Skills Clinic. Practice turning vague ideas into concrete business points, and we'll see you in the next episode.